The boy was playing the video game. Along with playing, he passed comments on the game scene by scene. It began when outrageously said that he hated it, and he was really hating it. He was talking about the game that he was playing. Within the game, there was a girl named Olivia. She hit the boy naming Julius. Julius said if she had any idea who he was. Olivia said that she would not tolerate any kind of rudeness, and it didn't matter for her that who he was. The boy playing the video game said that he found this game nothing but terribly annoying. Within the game, Julius asked her again if she really did not know him, to which she replied that she did not know much about the royal city. He thought that she must be a very tactful liar and devious protagonist. The boy playing the game narrated that the characters of the game were designed by a famous illustrator and popular voice actors were cast. It was supposed to be the highly anticipated new game for major developers. Julius said that she was very much different from other girls, to which the boy commented that the world of this Otome game is far too convenient for women. Meanwhile, his phone received a notification of a message from his little sister. The message was, "Traveling abroad is so fun." Her message reminded him of the time when she met her, and she blacked her to play that Otome game. While in game, Angelica said that Olivia would be out of place at Julius' party. The boy playing the game commented that it was weird that nobles were so worried about their social status. Now there was a floating island in the game, where the prince was carrying a sword trying to kill monsters in the dungeon alongside Olivia with him. The boy continued to comment on the game as he saw there were flying bikes and battleships in the game, and on top the players were fighting a war in power suits. He said that when the video games tend to be created for boys, they shouldn't have added these things anymore. He was mocking on the developing of game. He kept on playing the game again and again despite acknowledging the day and night till he made it to the end. The boy suddenly got up from the dream as he was terribly hungry. He came out to eat something, but due to extreme darkness his foot got slipped and he fell off the stairs and died. He was reincarnated in the other world where he was called up and reminded by his father that the lady was about to come. In the meantime, the lady Zola appeared and cursed all of them. He decided in his mind that he would be going to the academy because he was done with his life here as mob. Next day the boy, Leon, was called up by the lady and asked him to marry a woman who was already married 5 times. He refused to do so. He was given another option to be a soldier. He knew that it simply implied to die in a war. He said that he wanted to go and join the academy. He got a response in negation. The Bartfort family told that his sister was already studying there in academy, and they could not afford to send another son to study in that very academy. He recognized that he was supposed to gather good sum of money. The very next day he left by the ship. His ship get busted, and he got himself landed on the strange land. He thought it looked quite similar to the land in Otome game. Their characters were tropey and pretentious. The world building is a strange mix of sci-fi and high fantasy elements. At first he saw a report. He killed him through his electric magical gun. Later he saw so many of the robots. One of the major robots told him that their mission was to kill new people. New people were those people who possess supernatural qualities and magic, so their mission was to eradicate them. And that's why he was going to kill Leon first. He got a magical sword, and through which he got rid of that major robot. As soon as he assassinated the major robot, he was considered to be the master, and Luxion became his AI assistant. There, at his house, his father was being bullied by Zola as it was 3 months since he left. She said that he must have gotten himself killed. Suddenly, the voice of Airjet roared outside. They rushed outside and got astonished that there was Leon Faux Bartfort with air jet overflowing with treasure and wealth. Zola was too stunned to see that. The boy demanded a hot spring in his barony. Luxion told his master that construction of that hot spring was underway. His father told him after being part of the prestigious Half-Orc Academy, he must find a girl like Zola. He yelled that he never wanted to have a wife like her. Well, he left for the academy. It was the world, with girls being quite superior to the boys, and the sole purpose of attending the academy was to get a wife of a noble rank, where he saw a girl slapped by the boy named Julius. Hey, remember, it was the same scene that he had seen while playing the game, but he was surprised to discover that the girl was not Olivia, but it was Marie. He got 2 friends there, Raymond and Daniel, while Julius was the prince. He got a fiancée named Angelica. The prince offered Marie to attend the tea party that he was throwing up. On discovery, Angelica got quite furious. She could not bear the sight of Marie getting close to Prince Julius. He told her not to meddle in his matters while staying at the academy. Their master told them to throw tea parties like that so that they could enhance their way to get a woman for themselves. Leon Bartfort rented the space and threw a tea party. He got a few girls at his doorstep. Those were not pretty at all. They devoured all the sweets and went away by saying that they were passing their time by attending his tea party. Those girls started to bully Olivia outside the door of Leon by tearing her invitation letter of some party. He offered to come to his place for the tea party. She willingly accepted the offer and ate everything. She found everything so delicious that she couldn't prevent herself from praising Leon. Olivia told him that she came to the academy through scholarship, so she was not well aware of all the rules and regulations there. So he took her to his sister Jenna Bartfort to guide her. She told her to be in the good books of the academy's most popular girl, Angelica. For that purpose, she borrowed money from Leon and bought some special sweets for her. There, Angelica and Olivia talked about the third son of the Bartfort family, Leon Faux Bartfort, who acquired the barony on his own. The next day, their task in the academy was to survive through dungeons and the monster. Leon Bartfort, Olivia, Raymond, and Daniel were all together. Others were chattering that they wanted Leon and Olivia to go together first. Leon comprehended that they wanted them as their meat shield. In the meantime, the teacher announced that it was the time when they could apply their techniques and magic that they have learnt so far. They were supposed to collect crystal from the third floor of the dungeon while watching out for monsters. Marie was holding the arm of the prince there, and Angelica couldn't bear the sight. She told her to get away. Leon asked Olivia about Marie. She told him that she was the daughter of a poor viscount, and that's why she was being bullied. Greg said Angelica to keep their personal matter with the prince outside of the academy. Lately, Olivia excavated the crystal. She was super excited, but Leon wasn't that much cheerful. She thought him to be so cold. Leon recognized that dungeon, that it was the same which he saw in the game. He was thinking it was of no use to get close to Miss Olivia, as per the storyline of the game, she would be going to the close friend of Prince lately. Numbers of monsters came and attacked them. Leon used the sword given to him by the Luxion. He assassinated so many of the monsters. At one moment, he got frightened too by sudden attack. After that, the rest of the group entered. There was one single monster left to whom the prince concluded to murder by himself. Friends of the prince uttered numerous comments over his act of murdering the monster. For them, he was the one who raised in palace, and he couldn't be able to do that. But he did so and got hurt as well. Both Mary and Angelica came forward to rescue him and to do some healing magic over his wound. He did not bother to pay attention on Angelica. Marie healed the prince's wound, and Angelica got even more hurt, envious. Leon Bartfort was also wounded. Olivia helped him to heal, as she was also so good at healing magic. She told him that she managed to be in this academy because of her skills of magic, that word recognized by one of the scholars. As they strolled ahead, Leon kept thinking of why and how that game was different from the one that he had played earlier, as the character Marie was missing there. Olivia was supposed to be by Julia's side instead of him. Some girls were burning a bag and a textbook in a trash can. The prince came into the residing room of Angelica and asked her if she knew about the marriage back and textbook being burned by someone. She refused to have any clue about that. The prince said that he was asking him because the girls present at the scene said that they were doing that because Angelica ordered them to do so. She replied by carrying tears in her eyes that she had nothing to do with that incident. The prince said in a very harsh tone that she was supposed to stay away from him and Marie. Furthermore, their engagement was something that lay outside the door of Halford Academy. He warned her to stay out of his business. On the other hand, Raymond and Daniel were telling to Leon that Millie and Jessica were with some rich dudes. They asked Leon about what was happening in his case in the context of winning over the heart of the girl. He replied that he kept on throwing tea parties, but their proposals got ignored. They told him about the rulers when Marie got bullied by the daughter of Duke Angelica, and the Prince Julius came forward to defend Marie. Leon Bartfort remembered that the fight scene of the Prince and Angelica cast was also the part and parcel of the game that he had played earlier. The other day, Leon Bat was sitting with Olivia in the library. They were discussing the girl Marie. Olivia told him that she was being bullied by the students more than herself. She abruptly asked him whether he liked Miss Marie too. He replied in anguish that no, rather he hated her. She told him that a few days before she saw Marie sitting in the courtyard, and she went toward her and asked her if she needed any help. Marie replied in an outrageous way that she hated the girls like Olivia. He got quite stunned to hear this. Suddenly, he acknowledged that someone was also there in the library. He stepped forward to check who it was. Olivia asked him not to peep into somebody's privacy, as it was an indecent act to do so. He was surprised to see it was Marie kissing the friend of Prince Julius. Mary was so happy to be at the academy. She thought that this world was so wonderful, and those girls who used to bully her had stopped bullying her because Julius was mad at them. Astonishingly, Julius and one of his friends came and asked if Marie got a personal servant. She said that she couldn't afford that. Then Julius said he would be going to arrange a personal servant for herself. She was so happy to have a demi-human slave slave for herself, as she said that she would be going to have so much in this O-Team game. When this news got reached to the ears of Angelica, she became heart-wrenching as she didn't have permission herself to have a human slave. She knew what that meant by allotting her a personal slave. She let herself lay down on the bed and cried her heart out loud. She was devastated as he led her whole life for the sake of the prince. She was trembling with the thought of the prince falling for Marie. Leon Bartfort went to meet his sister Jenna Bartfort and told him that Marie was involved with so many other guys along with Prince. She warned him to stay away from the daughter of Duke and Prince himself, as he would be going to accede the throne ultimately, and those who would be in his bad books were going to suffer a lot. She didn't want him to embarrass her while in the academy. As soon as she left, he started talking to the Lux Scion and said that the first semester was almost over and he just paid a visit to the dungeon and wasn't able to get a wife for himself. He said that AI must be very petty to serve, and it was going to serve him lifelong. The day after, there was a party where the prince noticed Marie was wearing something very casual. On asking, he came to know that she couldn't afford to wear a fancy dress. He said that he was going to manage one for her. In this party, Leon, Raymond, and Daniel were determined to get a girl for themselves. They mustered up the courage and asked girls to be their partner, but they got brutal humiliation from all sides. The girls said them to look at their faces and ranks before asking them to be their partners. In the meantime, Angelica entered and yelled in front of everyone that she had seen Ms. Marie with some other guy. All the friends of the prince came forward to protect the honor of Marie. They say they all love Miss Marie a lot because of her sublime and prestigious character. Every girl in the hall was astonished at the fortune of Marie. They wished to be at her place. Angelica got too furious. She removed the glove from her hand and threw over Marie as she asked Marie for the duel. Prince himself came forward that he would be going to participate in the duel from the side of Marie. The rest of the four friends king also stepped forward as they were willing to participate in the duel as well. Angelica was all alone on her side. She asked if someone could be willing to participate in a duel from her side, but nobody stepped forward. Out of the blue, Mr. Leon Bartfort jumped in as he was feeling to participate in the duel from Angelica's side. Mr. Leon Bartfort came to know by Lux Scion that Marie wasn't from that word. She was also reincarnated, so he wanted to confront her. Everybody mocked his daring act, but he was quite consistent to fight that duel for her. They decided for an armor duel in the arena, so the prince made Marie to pick up the glove as it was the symbol of accepting the duel. Marie was too angry while sitting in her. She didn't like the Leon Bartfort intervention in the duel. Suddenly, a little boy entered her room to deliver vegetables for breakfast. Marie was well aware of all the characters of the game, as she was also reincarnated like Leon. Students were betting on the outcome of the duel. Leon was quite less eminent in comparison with the Prince Julius. Angelica called upon him and suggested to him not to go for a duel. She thought it would be not right for her to keep his life at stake for the sake of her. She said that her family had already reprimanded her to challenge the prince for the duel. She would either be at home arrest or sent to Borderlands soon as a punishment. She further clarified that she had no powers anymore. He replied that he wasn't interested in the favor of the Duke at all. He was just doing this to get a wife for himself. He further asserted that he was not going to apologize as she was the one who challenged for the duel. Later, Lux Scion invented armor for him. Olivia came to wish him good luck and said that she could do nothing for him except for giving him full support. When he entered the arena, he saw his opponents were in rainbow color armor. Crowd was yelling, "Get out, Bradford." Leon saw only 2 people bet on him. Angelica asked him to bring in his armor. He asked Lux Scion to bring his armor. As soon as Leon Bartford armor, Prince chuckled and laughed in a mocking manner as his armor was quite outdated. Angelica got stunned too. The whole crowd burst into laughter. Olivia got too confused on the sight of everyone laughing so hard. Angelica told him that Leon Bartford's armor couldn't be replicated and it lacked the latest technology. But Olivia still found it cute. Leon activated arrogance. He asked his AI assistant Lux Scion what was the meaning of arrogance. He told him that it was strong and capable exactly like his master. First, Brad came forward to fight a duel with his purple armor. Leon used his previous knowledge of the game to check the pluses and minuses of Brad. He came to know he was a narcissist and skilled as well. Lux Scion told him that Brad was carrying drone-like things at his back. Leon asked for Blade 1 to attack him. He was surprised to see that Blade 1 was a shovel. The whole crowd burst into laughter again. Everybody called him Backcountry Nobel. As the duel began, both the opponents stated their names. The first duel was between Leon Faux Bartfort and Brad Fauxfield. Brad was determined to kill Leon on his first blow, but suddenly, everyone noticed that Brad got unconscious within seconds. He couldn't stand firm in front of arrogance. Everyone was shocked, albeit Leon barely grazed, but he still got all dashed to the ground. Not a single person was excited from the crowd. There was a pin drop silence there. Suddenly, he saw his master standing up and appreciating him by clapping his hands. Angelica and Olivia got stunned too. Those who bet on the prince went into the tension as they were about to lose their money. Angelica started laughing so hard guard that barred foe field got unconscious with a single blow. The next one was Greg. He was too determined to bring Leon Bartfort down. He was in red armor. Now the second battle was between Greg Foseberg and Leon Bartfort. Luxion told Leon that he was quite strong in comparison with Brad. Greg also got defeated in no time. Albeit his armor was all shed down, but he was unaffected. Leon started to torment him. Greg came out of the armor and said he was going to kill him without armor. He started to give him thrust, but it didn't impact Arrogans at all. Suddenly, the result was declared that Greg lost the duel. The next one was Chris in blue armor. His armor was quite stronger than the two before. He was a swordsman. He attacked Leon with a sword, but Leon started using drones and laid him to the ground as well. Meanwhile, there was break time. Leon was taking the nap when Angelica and Olivia came after running. They both got to know that Leon Bartfort wasn't feeling well. It was Jenna Bartfort who told them so. Luxion told him that Arrogans was rigged with explosives, and it was his sister who did that, and his next opponent told Jenna Bartfort to do so. He further said that these explosives were mighty enough to kill the pilot too if they got set. The next opponent was in green armor. He was willing to lose the duel, but he didn't want the prince to get defied. He told Leon Bartfort as soon as the duel initiates that he respected the courage of Leon, but now it was his time to die as G defied the prince. His armor got the ability to fly and to attack from a number of ways. He attacked from the upside and beleaguered through the drone, but he was surprised to know it couldn't even draw a scratch on Leon's armor. He didn't know that Arrogans could fly too. He threatened her while in the air. Leon Bartfort replayed his threatening words for everyone's sake with the help of Luxion, as it was against the rule to threaten someone. Leon gave him a blow, and he got dashed to the ground. Now only Prince Julius himself left. Marie was so mad on the sight of all this. She didn't want herself to get loose by that mob. She looked quite stressful. The Prince Julius came to console her and said that he was going to defeat as his armor was the best armor ever. It was made by implicating advanced technologies. Deep down in her heart, she thought that everyone else of his group promised to win. She said that she was going to pray for the victory of Prince. As the Prince Julius came forward for the duel, the whole crowd was roaring as they wanted him to crush the Leon Bartfort. Before the duel officially began, the prince appreciated the courage of Leon. Further, he said that he could not get himself away from the duel as he was madly in love with Marie, and for honor's sake, he would do anything to win that battle. Leon asked him what about the love of Angelica for him. He replied that he was done being the son of a royal family. Angelica loved him because he was the prince, while Marie's love was quite a different thing. He said that women at palace used to trick him because of his rank, but Marie loved him for his individuality, not for his royalty. She understood him and noticed minute details about him. Leon said that this time Ho got tricked by the woman outside the royalty. His statement enraged the prince. Leon said that he was done with royalty, but he didn't know how it felt to be a backcountry noble. He was unaware of the humiliation that he and his friends went to win over the girl's heart, and he was oblivious to how it felt to throw up tea parties again and again, but always got ignored. The prince responded that he would keep fighting until one of them died. He said that he had to win for Marie's sake. His statement made Angelica cry. She realized that he was so serious about Marie. Olivia at once stood up and yelled at the prince that he was wrong to say that Anjali Ka did not love him. She said that, and all that duel session her eyes were staring at the prince. It didn't matter if Prince loved Marie, but Angelica loved Prince Julius, and it was quite obvious. Julius replied by pointing Angelica that the feeling she felt was not, and he requested her not to approach him again. He was still determined at one among him, and Leon Bartfort would die today. Leon offered him to call off the duel because it would not be possible for the price to defeat him. Prince refused to take his offer. He just blew a strike, and the prince was all dashed to the ground like all of his volunteering friends. He got unconscious, and the announcer announced that Leon Bartfort was the winner of the duel. Angelica paid a visit to Prince Julius to see if he was doing well. He said her that it was quite shameful of him to come and see him again. She said that she had done all this just for the sake of him. She wanted to protect him from that fraudulent woman. Further, she did everything to please him. He asked her about if she knew what his favorite meal was. She replied it was soup. He said that no, it was grilled skewers. He tried it when he snuck out with Marie. He clarified it was Marie who recognized his favorite meal and all that stuff as an individual person. Angelica, with tears in her eyes, said that she wanted to be by his side still. He said he was unable to love her as he had dived completely into the love of Marie. She left while saying she would pray for him to get well sooner. Angelica's father, the head of the Red Grave family, came to meet Leon Bartfort, who went out of the way for his daughter. Leon said that he was willing to give up his title of knight and barony as he just wanted to strike a blow against those hunks and to get rid of this wife-hunting hell. Furthermore, he did that for the kingdom's sake, as he didn't want the prince to be manipulated by that deceitful woman. Duke was overwhelmed with his thoughts and told him that Angelica's engagement was already called off. He requested him to take her by his side so that she could feel better and tranquil while residing in the countryside for some time. Angelica was disheartening to know that Leon was made to leave the academy. Olivia tried to relax her and made her know that Leon Bartfort himself wanted to play a villain as he didn't want to stay in Halford Academy anymore, the floating island. Leon's father was stressed out at his stupidity of fighting duels with Prince at one hand and then bringing Duke's daughter to his place at the other. In this nail-biting situation, Zola entered and said that the royal palace and she herself was thunderstruck by the stupidity of Leon. In the meantime, Angelica entered and introduced herself from the Redgrave family. Zola's tone suddenly got changed and she welcomed her and told her to feel at home during her stay there. Olivia and Angelica were shocked at the beauty of Leon's island. They took a bath and started to feel so cozy and comfy there. Angelica told her that she grew her long hair because of the prince and she was going to trim them. She wanted to know if Olivia was dating Leon. She replied in negation. Angelica told Olivia that she wanted to take the revenge on Marie and Julius. Leon Bartfort has overheard her saying this, said that the best revenge was to keep herself happy. Angelica and Olivia made the prince that they would be going to stay happy from onwards. Meanwhile, the prince was called upon along with his friends. They all were abandoned from their titles, and Leon Bartfort was bestowed with the higher rank as admonished the foolish behavior of the prince. When the news reached the ears of Marie, she felt devastated as she wanted to embrace royalty. She saw her dream of luxurious meals, gorgeous dresses, and the royal palace sinking down. The prince said that he was going to find out Leon to take his revenge while his friends would be going to protect Marie in the academy in his absence. Leon Bartfort was back at the academy. Angelica and Olivia were so happy to be together with him again. Upcoming, there was a festival at the Halford Academy. All the students were preparing themselves to participate in that very festival. Leon Bartfort alongside Raymond, Daniel, decided to open a cafe where they were going to offer tea at the festival. He was talking about the tea set that he got, quite an expensive one. They were making preparations for the festival when Angelica and Olivia entered. They both looked supremely gorgeous in their waitress outfit. Their appearances were mind-boggling for Leon Bartfort. Even he wanted to indulge in a romantic relationship. They were so happy all together. Olivia said that she wanted to have skin like Angelica, while Angelica wanted to have hairs like Olivia. They were discussing the necessary preparations needed to be made when Jenna Bartfort entered. She said that she wanted the help of Leon Bartfort. She said that there was a guy whom both she and her friends started to like. He was quite rich and she wanted him to be by her side. Further, she told her that her friend was the first among them who went into a relationship with him. Leon Bartfort refused to help her as she was doing something wrong. She started to yell when Angie entered. She ran away on the side of her while cursing Leon. Suddenly, they felt that something was going on in the tea room next door. They all rushed out to watch. There was Prince Julius, who was also opening a cafe right in the tea room next door. He was offering the girls to gather their place on the day of the festival. The girls were dying to join their team on that particular day. On recognizing Leon Bartfort, he came forward to offer Leon to pay a visit at his cafe as he was making fun of him. He handed over him a visiting card over which they mentioned the price of 100 jia for the tea. They all followed the prince to see his cafe. It was quite luxurious. As he entered, the Prince Julius' companions told him that they were enjoying his frustrated face and it was worth watching. The name of the cafe was Princess. Leon made fun of the name and said that Marie was not a princess at all. Marie taunted him that she was waiting anxiously for the day of the festival, when they would be going to use his cafe as their break room and let him serve some tea before them. On the festival day, everyone was busy doing his job. Angelica stepped forward to convince students to visit their cafe. Girls made fun of her by saying that the scholarship student was promoting Bartfort's cafe. They told her that nobody would be going to her place. It was such a heartbreaking discovery for her. Meanwhile, another girl, Carla Wayne, came and said that she would love to visit Bartfort's cafe because she was dying to meet him on the day of the festival. Leon made the boys show some spirit and asked the girls to not forget to take the break. Angie told Livia that she was feeling anxious. Suddenly, their ma'am entered and announced that there was a call for Ms. Angelica as the executive committee wanted to have a word with Angelica. She left in no time. There was Lady Mylene, the Queen of Halfort. She told Angie that she wanted to enjoy her first school festival as she had never attended the one before. She wanted to create some memories about that. Lady Mylene appeared to be the very graceful woman. Angelica considered herself always indebted to the Queen, Lady Mylene, but I told her that she wanted to meet Leon Barfort. She acknowledged that it was Julia's fault that he got disinherited, and she wanted to have a word with Leon Faux Barfort. She even excused Angie that she was being ill-treated by her son. There was a huge rush of customers at Prince Julius Cafe. A group of girls decided to torment Leon Barfort by paying their visit at his cafe. They ordered the tea and then threw the cup and asked him to make it again as it wasn't up to mark. She added that she wasn't going to pay money for that. She insulted Leon badly while the Queen entered and watched the whole scene by herself. That girl was Count Offrey's daughter. Angelica couldn't control herself anymore. She pushed her away. The girl started to spit below the belt comment for Angie too. Olivia interrupted her to not say words like that for Leon and Angie. She in return called Olivia a pet of Angelica. She reminded Angie that she used to consider commoners as nothing. She threatened them by mentioning his father's rank. The Queen intervened in the situation by interrupting her. She called the Queen as an old hag and warned her not to intervene. She further called her slave to throw the Queen out as she didn't recognize her. Leon got too furious to see all that. At first, he gave a tight beating to her slave. He got out of control. He told the Count Offrey's daughter about the Queen. She got frightened of that news. The Queen wanted him to be tranquil, but still he was not under control. Angelica, that's why, called up the master to bridle him. Lately, he told him the rules of the tea party again. Lady Mylene talked to Leon Barfort that she had a complaint regarding Leon. He went on his knees and requested her to spare him. She said that she wasn't going to inflict any punishment upon him, rather she was telling him despite indulging into a duel, he would have better sort the matter peacefully. Leon Faux Barfort thought that she was so beautiful in her 30s. He couldn't take his eyes off her. Further, she said that she was from the neighboring country, and there was not a concept of academy. She said that she came here to create the memories. He stood up and said that he was going to create memories together. He out of the blue said, "Lady Mylene, will you marry me?" Everybody there was surprised. The lady replied that she got a husband and children. He said that he wanted to make a human and instead of stupid teens at the academy. In the meantime, someone hit him right on his head. It was Prince Julius. He pushed him away and called him greedy while taking his mother out. He told his mother to stay away from that greedy and coward. Both Olivia and Angelica thought that Leon deserved that blow from Julius. Lady Mylene was sitting at the cafe running by Julius and his companions while taking the tea that they offered. She asked whose idea it was to sell tea at 100 dia. They asked for her while she was trembling at the corner listening to all their debate about her. The Queen said if Leon was greedy, then Marie could be greedy too. On the other hand, Angelica was asking Leon what kind of a night he was to take advances on the Queen. Suddenly someone entered there and asked if they were still open. Leon replied that they were not. It was Carla who requested Olivia to let her meet Leon Barfort earlier. Carla bent on her knees in front of Leon and begged him to help her. Want to know what happens next? Subscribe for part 2. Don't forget to like and comment. Stay tuned.